Hello, I welcome all of you to the another session of the heat exchanger. So today we will discuss some of the problems related to heat exchanger. So this is the problem statement, the very first problem statement. So I will read out the problem statement and we will extract the given data from this statement. Okay. So first we will understand what actually the problem statement is, what are its given data, and we try to solve the problem accordingly. So the problem statement is something like this: in a double in a certain double pipe heat exchanger, hot water flows at a rate of 50,000 kg per hour and gets cooled from 95 degrees Celsius to 65 degrees Celsius. At same time, 50,000 kg per hour of cooling water at 30 degrees Celsius enters the heat exchanger. The flow conditions are such that overall heat transfer coefficient remain constant and at 2270 watt per meter square Kelvin. Determine heat transfer area required and the effectiveness. Assume uh, the two streams are in parallel flow. Assume for both streams specific heat Cp is equal to 4.2 kilojoules per kg Kelvin. So this is the problem statement. So this is a problem statement in which the arrangement is parallel flow. So as it is clearly mentioned here, it is a parallel flow arrangement, right? Along with that, some certain values are given here. So here, as you can see in the problem statement, the hot fluid is again here, water itself is there, and cold fluid is also water here. So both hot fluid as well as cold fluid here in this problem is water only. Okay, so here, so this is the arrangement of a parallel flow heat exchanger. And for hot fluid, as you can see in the beginning of the problem statement, in a certain double pipe heat exchanger, hot water, so this hot water is nothing but the hot fluid. So hot water flows at a rate of 50,000 kg per hour. So m dot h is given. This is for mass flow rate of hot fluid. Mass flow rate of hot fluid 50,000 divided by 3,600. So always remember the mass flow rate of the heat exchanger should be in kg per second. So it is kg per hour. So divided by 3,600, you will get 13.89 kg per second. Along with that, the temperature at the inlet and outlet of the hot fluid is given. Okay, what is that? In a certain double pipe heat exchanger, hot water flows at a rate of 50,000 kg per hour and gets cooled from, right, 95 degrees Celsius to 65 degrees Celsius. Okay, so 95 degrees Celsius is the inlet temperature of the hot fluid, so that is T1, right? T1 is the inlet temperature and T2 is the exit temperature of the hot fluid, T2, capital T2. Okay, so here always remember that the hot fluid, as it flows throughout the heat exchanger, its temperature decreases, right? So that's why the initial temperature of the hot fluid is 95 degrees Celsius. As it passes throughout the heat exchanger, its temperature gradually decreases. So initial temperature of hot fluid is 95 degrees Celsius and exit temperature of the hot fluid is 65 degrees Celsius. Okay, and at same time 50,000 kg per hour of cooling water, right? Now the cooling water, it is entering, right? Cooling water, so mass flow rate of cooling water is again, that is cold water or cold fluid, is 50,000 kg per hour, right? And it is entering at that same time 50,000 kg per hour of cooling water at 30 degrees Celsius. So small t1 value is given here, small t1, that is the inlet temperature of the cold fluid, right? Inlet temperature of the cold fluid, that is small t1. Okay, and mass flow rate is given, that is 50,000 kg per hour. So again it has to be converted. So as you can see here, mass flow rate is same for both hot fluid and cold fluid. It is not compulsory. mass flow rate of hot fluid and cold fluid may be different also, but in this problem mass flow rate is same here. So that's why m dot c is equal to 13.89 kg per second. Along with that, inlet temperature of the cold fluid is given. So what is that statement? At same time, 50,000 kg per hour of cooling water at 30 degrees Celsius enters the heat exchanger. So small t1, right, the temperature of the cold fluid at the inlet is 30 kg per 30 degrees Celsius, 30 degrees Celsius. Next, the flow conditions are such that overall heat transfer coefficient remain constant and its value is given 2270. So the value of u is equal to 2270 watt per meter square Kelvin. Okay. So determine heat transfer area required. So here we need to calculate area, right? Heat transfer area A is to be calculated, and along with that we need to calculate the effectiveness. Effectiveness is to be calculated. Assume two streams are parallel. Assume two streams are parallel. Okay, in parallel flow. So here we have to consider the heat exchanger as parallel flow heat exchanger, and specific heat of both the streams, that is for hot fluid and cold fluid, Cp is given, it is constant 4.2 kilojoules per kg Kelvin. So this is the specific heat of water for both the streams. Okay, so we'll extracted the given data here. As you can see, we have extracted. So mass flow rate of hot fluid, mass flow rate of cold fluid, then inlet temperature of hot fluid, then exit temperature of the hot fluid, and this is T1 is inlet temperature of cold fluid. Overall heat transfer coefficient is given, u is equal to 2270 watt per meter square Kelvin, and specific heat CPC, that is for cold fluid, specific heat of cold fluid is equal to specific heat of hot fluid. So this is same 4.2 kilojoules per kg Kelvin. So it has to be converted into joules per kg Kelvin. Okay, so this is the given data. So you have to be very peculiar or particular while extracting the given data, because if you commit any mistake while extracting the given data, then everything goes wrong here. Okay, so the very first we will calculate T2, that is exit temperature of the cold fluid. So first we will go with that part. So to calculate this value of T2, exit temperature of cold fluid, as you can see, this small T2 is the exit temperature of the cold fluid. So how we are going to calculate? So this can be calculated by heat lost by hot water is equal to heat gained by the cold water. So this is the expression. So Q is equal to, what is that expression? Q is equal to, that is heat lost by the hot water, m dot h Cph into bracket T1 minus T2 is equal to m dot C Cpc into bracket T2 minus T1. So just substitute all the values here. So there is only one unknown, T2 is the only one unknown, right? So substitute all the values and we can calculate the value of T2, right? T2 will get at 60 degrees Celsius, 60 degrees Celsius. Okay, now we will calculate. So to calculate this area, this is the equation that is required. Q is equal to UA into delta T, right? This is the expression, right? Q is equal to UA into delta T. So this is the expression, it is there in your data handbook. Okay, I will show you this part. Okay, for heat exchangers, Q is equal to UA into delta T LM, right? So this is the expression for heat exchangers. So out of this we need to calculate A here, right? We need to calculate this area. Okay, since it is a parallel flow heat exchanger, so delta T, that is delta T LM, right? So this can be calculated using this expression. So this is for parallel flow heat exchanger, this is for parallel flow heat exchanger, and this is the expression, right? So we know all the values. We know capital T1 inlet temperature of hot fluid, inlet temperature of cold fluid, then exit temperature of hot fluid and exit temperature of cold fluid. So we know all the T1 T2 and T1 T2 for cold fluid, T1 T2 for hot fluid and T1 T2 for cold fluid. We know all the values. So we will calculate the value of delta T LM, right? So we write the expression here, that is for delta LMTD for LMTD delta T. So this is the expression for parallel flow heat exchanger. So just substitute all the values. So be careful while substituting the values. Okay, you will get delta T value as 23.4 degrees Celsius. Okay, so we know the value of delta T. So now we will go with the value of Q, right? Q is nothing but it is the heat lost by the hot fluid is equal to heat gained by the cold fluid. So either of these two expressions, that is m dot h Cph T1 minus T2 or m dot c Cpc into bracket T2 minus T1, you go with the any of these two. So probably take the higher value of Q, because this Q is equal to, that is heat lost by the hot fluid, it is given by this expression, and it is equal to heat gained by the cold fluid, right? Either you go, Q is equal to, either you go with this expression, that is m dot h Cph into T1 minus T2, or you can go with Q is equal to m dot c Cpc into bracket T2 minus T1. So either you go with any of these two expression here. Okay, so better you go with a higher value of Q. Out of these two expressions, which one is having the higher value, take that value as Q here. Okay, so now I will go with this expression, right? So Q is equal to, from this expression, Q is equal to UA into delta T. So this expression is already there in your data handbook. So here Q is equal to UA into delta T Lm. Okay, now we need to calculate this Q, A. We need to calculate this A here. So area is equal to Q divided by U into delta T, right? This is the expression. So I will write a Q, that is mass flow rate of hot fluid. I will go with the mass flow rate of hot fluid. Q is equal to, what is that expression? As you can see, m dot h Cph. So this is m dot h into Cph into T1 minus T2, T1 minus T2, T1 minus T2. T1 is 95 degrees Celsius minus 65 degrees Celsius, T2 is 65 degrees Celsius. So this is the expression what I have taken. So this is this is this expression, Q is equal to, this is Q is equal to m dot h Cph into bracket T1 minus T2. Otherwise you can also calculate separately Q is equal to, right, with this expression, and later on you can directly substitute that value. Okay, so Q is equal to, so this is A is equal to Q divided by U into delta T, right? So we will calculate Q is equal to by this expression, right, divided by U is already given, that is 2270, and delta T is this value we have calculated, 23.4. So just substitute the values and simplify it, you will get area is equal to 32.95 meter square, 32.95 meter square. So this is the area. So first part we have calculated. Next we will go with the effectiveness. What it is been asked here, what is that? Determine heat transfer area required and effectiveness. So effectiveness is given by, okay, we will go with this effectiveness equation. Effectiveness equation, right? Effectiveness is nothing but the efficiency of the heat exchanger. So it is given by actual heat transfer to the maximum heat transfer. Okay, so this expression is already there in your data handbook, I will show you that part. Okay, so effectiveness, so according to the given value we will go with this effectiveness equation. So effectiveness is equal to m dot h Cph divided by C minimum into bracket T1 minus T2 divided by T1 minus small t1. Okay, so here C minimum, as you can see here, C minimum is nothing but m dot h Ch. So you just substitute here, these both the terms get cancelled and the remaining term will be this only. Okay, so effectiveness is given by, if you substitute here, if you substitute C minimum is there, no, C minimum, if you substitute the value of C minimum by this equation here, so this term and this term get cancelled here. Okay, so the remaining term will be T1 minus T2 divided by T1 minus T1 only. Okay, so the expression will be something like this. Okay, actual heat transfer divided by maximum heat transfer in a heat exchanger. So this is the expression for effectiveness. So as you can see, these terms get cancelled here, m dot h Cph divided by m dot h Cph into bracket, the remaining term will be T1 minus T2 divided by T1 minus T1. So just substitute the values, you will get effectiveness of heat exchanger is equal to 0.461 or 46.14%, right? So this is the very first problem. Hope you understood this. If you find any difficulty, then you can message me or you can call me. Thank you.